Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. Monday Night Raw happened last night, so let's get into the full rundown and full review of last night's show. This show had its fair few big moments and talking points throughout the night, as well as title changes, and of course a brawl that has got the whole IWC talking. So without further ado, let's break it all down. Alright, so we kicked off the show with the best in the world, CM Punk. How else do you kick off Monday Night Raw? The best in the world did in fact come out to talk about Seth freaking Rollins and how they haven't been seeing eye to eye. Obviously last week we had the interview where he got kind of real about the situation and whatnot. And well, basically things escalated quite quickly. CM Punk was basically just trying to get Seth to interrupt him. He was basically making a point of how Seth constantly interrupts him. So Punk was trying to anger him so that he would come out, and before you know it, fists are flying. This segment was a really fun way to kick off the show. Obviously, CM Punk. No one's going to be down on CM Punk kicking off Monday Night Raw. But also with Seth coming out and saying, like, look, Punk, I have more main events than you do, even though it is only one. It's not going to take Punk that long to match that, I would argue. And before you know it, these two are brawling in the crowd, and security tries to stop them. But as we all know, WWE security is about as useful as cardboard in the rain. This, of course, has led to Adam Pearce confirming and making it official that on January 6th, that debut episode of Raw on Netflix, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, a match that has been built for years. And it seems that WWE are kind of not really having a heel and a face. They seem to just be kind of letting people pick. So let me know in the comments, are you Team CM Punk or are you Team Seth Rollins? Now, this is in no particular order, so up next, War Raiders win the Raw Tag Team titles. In the main event, we saw a huge title change. Obviously, the War Raiders ending the reign of terror, as many have named it, of Judgment Day holding the tag titles. Now, of course, in the coming weeks, I imagine Finn and Damian are going to carry on their feud. Because Damian Priest came down to ringside when Finn was gonna, I assume, get disqualified. He got out of the ring, got a chair, and Damian stopped him. And then Finn gets back in the ring, and then they lose the match, and we have new tag team champions. And this is the second reign of the War Raiders, and my God, do these two deserve it? Because they've been through the ringer. I mean, they did a promo on Raw Talk after the show, and they just got really real about how, you know, they've both been told that they would never wrestle again, that they might not be able to hold their kids, and all of this because of all their injuries and whatnot. So they absolutely deserve this, and it was just a pure, raw, emotional interview, and they thoroughly deserve it, man. I could not be happier for them. Bron Breakker, of course, as well defended his Intercontinental Championship successfully against Ludwig Kaiser. Now, while Kaiser is slick in the ring, Bron Breakker's all about power, and that really showed itself in this match. It was a decent match. It got given time. I think it was like 18 minutes. And by the time that the match had finished, we were like 50 minutes into the show. Obviously, that's taken into account the opening segment, the commercials, and, you know, then the actual match itself. But it was a fun match. Really good match. I enjoyed it. Let's be honest, nobody expected Ludwig to win. People might want Ludwig to win because, look, I might be one of these people because Bron, booking-wise, hasn't done anything with the title yet. I mean, for me, it's weird with the IC title reign, at least with Bronze, because obviously he won it for the first time, right? He then lost it to Jey Uso for like a week, and then regained it again. Which, to be honest, I think for me, didn't only harm Jey Uso in a way, it also harmed Bron, because now I've been taken completely out. I mean, when Gunther was holding the IC title, but I mean, this is for different reasons, because I just think Gunther's overrated. But, you know, even when Gunther was holding it, I wasn't that interested in the IC title. And even now, Bron's holding it, and I'm just not interested. Like, I don't care. And I think it's because, I mean, look, I'm interested in Bron. I think Bron's got a very bright future. I do just think they probably shouldn't have had him lose to Jey Uso just to put it back on him a week later. I understand it was to further the Bloodline story at the time, but even still. But look, Bron Breakker did an interview on Raw Talk and did say that 2025 is going to be a massive year for him. And there were heavy rumours to back that up that WWE have got massive, massive plans for Bron Breakker. He's definitely a future world champion. Whether that happens next year, who knows? I mean, we could be anywhere within storylines in the next few months to a year. So, who knows? But overall, fun match. I enjoyed it. From one not-so-shocking victory to one very shocking victory in the Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat match. Obviously, this is a part of the tournament to crown the first ever women's Intercontinental Champion. And the favourite was Raquel Rodriguez. Obviously, her size, her power. She's only just come back. And obviously, her alignment with Judgment Day and Liv. A lot of people thought, well, she's pretty much guaranteed to win this because Liv's going to get involved or Raquel is just going to dominate. But that didn't really happen, and Zoey Stark come out with a very, very shock win. And I say it's shocking, not because of her in-ring ability, because she is very, very, very talented in-ring, but when she comes out, the crowd just don't care. They're not interested in PFC, that's no secret. But the match, it was fast-paced, it was hard-hitting, and Stark capitalised at the perfect time to advance to the semi-finals. And with Zoey Stark obviously advancing, that now means that her opponent in the next round is Dakota Kai, who is heavily slated to win this, just by people on Twitter and social media. She has a very, very large fan base that want her to win this. And now that I'm seeing the two names on paper, it kind of makes sense. How do we not see this coming? Because obviously Dakota Kai, her most recent injury was caused by PFC. And it now makes sense because Zoey Stark against Dakota Kai, she's going to get a bit of revenge, you would think. I think Dakota probably gets that. But yeah, should be a banger of a match. Let me know who you think is going to win the tournament in the comments. Now, we've already had a few talking points, but this one might be one that people are getting tired of. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley have a bit of a confrontation. Liv comes down and is cutting a promo, nothing too memorable. And basically, Rhea Ripley comes out. It's been made official that at some point, we don't know when, but at some point, Rhea will challenge for Liv Morgan's World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I was thinking that it might be on the January 6th Raw or the Royal Rumble, but they haven't announced it. So maybe it is for that Raw and they didn't want to announce it on the same night that Punk and Seth got announced. I don't know. Or they're not going to announce it because they're going to wait until it's closer to the Rumble and then have it at the Rumble. But I feel like people want this feud over and done with pretty quickly. Alright, so that is your full rundown of last night's Raw, the December 16th episode of Monday Night Raw. Had to double check my dates there. So overall, out of 10, I'd probably say a 4.5. I wasn't bored. Did it lift me off my seat? Not quite. It was a decent show. It did the job. This show was action-packed, and WWE have got huge things lined up as we get closer and closer to that Netflix move. And if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and if you haven't already, let me know what you thought of Raw last night in the comments. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.